Yo, let's talk about the end of the world. Every culture has its own myths and prophecies about how it all goes down. Beyond the popcorn flicks, there's a real fascination with eschatology, the study of the end times. Religions across the globe have their own interpretations, anxieties, and hopes for what comes next. For Muslims, the end times are deeply intertwined with our faith and understanding of God's plan. Central to this, the antichrist, or as we call him, the Dajjal, a figure of immense deception and tribulation. Now before you picture some dude with horns and a pitchfork, let's be clear. The Dajjal in Islamic tradition is more complex. He's a smooth talker, a master manipulator who will come bearing false promises and tempting miracles. Think of him as the ultimate con artist, preying on our deepest desires and insecurities. So, who is this Dajjal dude, and why should we care? In Islamic eschatology, the Dajjal is a major player in the end times drama. He's the ultimate test of faith, a cosmic curveball to see who's really down with the program. Picture this. The world is in chaos. Wars, famines, natural disasters. It's like a 24/7 news cycle on steroids. People are desperate for answers. Enter the Dajjal, stage left, with a smile as bright as his designer sunglasses. He's got charisma to spare, promising solutions, claiming to be a messiah. Sounds too good to be true? That's because it is. The Dajjal is all about deception. He'll perform what seem like miracles, dazzling people with his powers. But beneath the surface, it's all smoke and mirrors, a cosmic magic trick designed to lead people astray. His goal? To turn people away from God, sow doubt and discord, and establish his own twisted rule. Now you might be thinking, okay Hassan, this Dajjal guy sounds like bad news, but how do we even know he's real? Is this like some ancient folklore, or is there actual scripture backing this up? The Dajjal isn't just some bedtime story. His arrival is prophesied in our sacred texts, both in the Quran and the Hadith, sayings and traditions of the Prophet Muhammad. These texts offer clues, signs to look out for, like a cosmic game of Clue. One major sign: the Dajjal will appear between Syria and Iraq. Another sign? He'll have an abundance of resources, controlling things like food and water. The Hadith also describes the Dajjal physically. He's got one eye that's deformed, described as looking like a floating grape. He'll also have the Arabic word for disbeliever written on his forehead, visible to all believers. It's like a cosmic warning label permanently etched on his face saying, "Danger approach with extreme caution." Is the Dajjal already among us? Some Muslims believe the Dajjal is already here, hiding in plain sight. They point to the chaos in the world, the rise of technology, the erosion of truth and morality. All signs, they say, that the Dajjal's influence is already at play. Think about it. We live in a world where information travels at the speed of light, where misinformation spreads like wildfire. We've got deepfakes, filter bubbles, algorithms designed to keep us hooked on content, even if it's bad for us. It's the perfect breeding ground for deception, for someone like the Dajjal to thrive. He doesn't need to ride in on a donkey. He can just tweet his message of hate and division from his basement. In the digital age, data is the new oil, and whoever controls the data controls the world. Modern anxieties and the Antichrist narrative. The Dajjal isn't just some bogeyman we use to scare ourselves. He represents something much deeper: the fear of deception, the anxiety of uncertainty, the need to make sense of a chaotic world. Every generation has its own version of the Antichrist, its own embodiment of evil. For some, it was the Soviet Union during the Cold War. For others, it was terrorism in the wake of 9/11. Today it might be the rise of authoritarianism, the climate crisis, or just the feeling that things are spinning out of control. The Dajjal is a blank slate, onto which we project our deepest fears and anxieties. But fear can paralyze us, or it can mobilize us. The belief in the Dajjal isn't just about passively waiting for the end of the world, it's about being vigilant, recognizing and resisting the forces of deception and division in our own time. Navigating diverse beliefs, a Muslim perspective. Is the Dajjal already here? Honestly fam, I don't know, and anyone who tells you they know for sure is probably selling something. There's a diversity of opinions within Islam about the timing of the Dajjal's arrival. Some believe he's already here, others believe he's yet to come. And that's okay. The key is not to get bogged down in the specifics of when and how the Dajjal will arrive, but to focus on the lessons we can learn from his story. The Dajjal represents the seductive nature of falsehood, the ease with which we can be misled by our desires and fears. His story is a reminder to be discerning, to question everything, and to ground ourselves in our faith and values. Ultimately, the best way to prepare for the Dajjal, whether he's here or not, is to live a life of purpose and meaning, to be a force for good in the world.